Yeah.
Yeah! Woo, woo, woo.
We got fights, everybody.
Fights,
The
fights, fights, fights,
UFC
fights.
heading to luxurious. Actually, they're not heading there. They are in luxurious Atlantic City, New Jersey. UFC Atlantic City kicks off in just under 30 minutes time. There you see the main event on the left side of the screen there. Erin, Blanchfield, Manon, Fiorot. We got Vicente Luque, Joaquin Buckley, and a whole bunch of other fights. As we welcome you to the People's Pre-Fight Show here for UFC Atlantic City, I am Mike Heck, being joined by the baddest stash in MMA, the best blue belt in all of MMA media, dare I say, and the chair-swinging fool that is Casey Leydon. How many chair swings does this card get?
Whoa. Oh. I just want to show off my belt, that's all.
Oh, fair. Does that even constitute a spin? A half a spin?
Half a spin. I got my can of Celsius. Sponsor me, guys. Come on. And I'm ready to go. Let's get some questions. Let's talk about Atlantic City. Fights. I don't know. I'm happy to be here, though. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm happy to be here as well to speak with all of you. I'm sure you guys have questions about this card, maybe some future cards, whatever you want. Of course, the super chatters get to cut the line. You guys get to jump over everybody, but let's get into this thing. We'll answer questions until the first fight kicks off.
Oh, speaking of
Boardwalk Hall.
Look at this thing. Look at that. I got my blue belt, and my ear blows up this week. Look at that. I think
it's kismet.
Ow. Yeah, I got punched in it today. And I keep touching it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. So yeah. So this one was all messed up, but I thought it was one of those one-sided messed up ear guys, but no, now this one's catching up. So
coming along.
Yay. Yeah, it's coming along. All right. To the questions. David Williams.
If Joaquin Buckley wins, where does he stand in the division? What do you think, Casey? What does a win for Joaquin Buckley do for him? How will you view him? Where do you place him in the standing of 170?
I gotta say, I know obviously Joaquin Buckley is a very exciting fighter, get got type of guy. But I still see him as get got when he fights, elite competition. And that's what I see tonight. But if he shocks me and wins, hey man, I love being wrong. And who knows? If Buckley wins big, I still don't see him as a contender yet, but he will definitely give. He's legit. How about that? He is legit welterweight, and I welcome it. Changing in the guard a bit. How old is Buckley? Buckley's a few years younger than Luque, right?
Yes. Let me get the exact age here. I'm guessing he's like 31. Nope, 29. He'll be 30 April 27th. So a month. So, he's almost 30.
Yeah, so he's hitting his athletic prime, so all those kind of ups and downs he's had, kind of, building himself up, throughout the years as a professional fighter. Maybe he's finally hitting his stride at 170. But this is it, and this is a big shot for him. And if you beat Vicente Luque, hey, you're tough. You deserve those big fights. So yeah. But I gotta see it though.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be ranked number 11 with the win here. He might even be in the top 10. These are the UFC rankings. You probably won't jump that high in our rankings. I also think it's going to be imperative that what he says, he needs to say the right thing on the microphone. He can't be calling for a title shot or calling for Colby or Usman or just like names that are completely out of the realm of possibility. If I'm him and he goes out, wins this fight, you go call out MVP. I think that's the perfect call out for him. Go get that fight. I actually think the winner of this fight, if handled correctly, could just get MVP. Like Vicente Luque MVP is a good fight for the UK. Manchester put on that card. MVP versus Joaquin Buckley would also be a good one. So, yeah. I mean, Buckley needs to win, and then he needs to be smart on the mic. If he does the Bilal Muhammad thing where he just calls for something he knows he has zero chance of getting, That's bad. That's bad.
Who did who did Blah call out in his last fight? Like, why bring up like in his last
Bilal would have
victory?
got no. I'm not even talking about the last victory. I'm
'Cause
talking about. I'm talking about like when he beat Vicente Luque, and I'm talking about when he beat Wonder Boy. Instead of like calling for Hamzat, because like Hamzat was the call out. Everybody just said call Hamzat, no brainer. He calls out Usman and Colby. No chance in hell he was getting either of those fights. No chance at all.
But he's not getting any
And
fight, so I
no,
understand.
I'm not talking about the Gilbert Burns one. I'm talking the build to the Gilbert Burns one, because those call outs made the UFC realize, like, all right, he ain't playing the game, so now he's gonna have to fight Luque, and then he's gonna have to fight Sean Brady. He ain't getting any of these fights. When he could have just called out Hamzat. And then after that, he did all these car wash interviews. And who did he call out in all of those interviews? He called out Hamzat. He called out Hamzat in all those interviews, but when it mattered, he didn't. And it cost him. He's still waiting for a title shot. The road to the title has gotten so much longer for him because of how he misplayed the game in those situations. The Gilbert Burns one, Dana said, hey, take this fight, and if you win, you're getting a title fight. And then he had to watch Colby fight for the belt. So, I don't know. He probably ends up getting it anyways, but 14-month wait to get it is pretty tough.
Yeah, I
Probably
see what
2
you're
years.
saying, but I just think it's
If Buckley calls out Colby, he's getting an absolute murderer in his next fight. Like, that's it. Go call it MVP. That is a good call out. That's
MVP
a perfect call out.
I think MVP is a murderer too. I mean, like, what do you mean? MVP, like, he caves in skulls.
Murderer?
Well,
Yeah.
Cyborg,
yeah.
Yeah, he caves in skulls. He rips guys. He breaks guys' legs. MVP, like, he can hurt you. And MVP Buckley is a fun fight.
If he calls out Colby Covington, it will be met with a collective, I can't believe you just did that. I think you're great. I trust me. Look at Bilal. I would write about Bilal the whole time. All those calls were whiffs. All of them.
I just don't think if Bilal wouldn't have made the right call out, his life changes. I think
if he called out Hamzat, he would have gotten the Hamzat fight
instead of Gilbert.
Yes, instead of Gilbert Burns, he would have gotten it and had a chance to beat him. And then he fought right after Gilbert Burns almost beat him and could have called him out right then when he was at his most vulnerable state, and he still didn't call him out. And then he called him out after the fact. Those are my issues with Bilal. If you're going to call out Colby and Usman, stick with it. Don't realize, oh, shit, I screwed it up, and then go do all these interviews and be like, yeah, Hamzat, let's go, after the fact. Don't be that guy. Stick to your guns. Do it right the first time. Joaquin, if you win this fight, be smart. Be smart. Call it Ian Gary. I don't hate that. That. Don't be calling out Colby.
I just think Steve Ersak, Vincino.
You are not comparing welterweight to flyweight, right?
I'm just saying, call outs in this. To me, I don't know. In this modern UFC, I'm talking about the last 6 months. I don't know if call outs even matter anymore with the UFC anymore. I think it's just like timing. All right.
Availability is their best friend. But when Joaquin Buckley would be the 8th or 9th option, it doesn't really work. Steve Erceg was at least like the 3rd option in the conversation. Was he not? It was Makhachev, Royval, and Erceg. Those are the 3 choices for pants. That's it. That's it.
I think it's all about... Yeah. All right. Whatever.
I mean, if he loses, then none of this shit matters anyway. So.
All right. Thank you. Man, very passionate. My kick. Passionate, my kick. I like it.
Oh, I have a feeling you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, I know. I'll wait for that question. All right. Got a super chat here.
Talk about the Pavlovich-Volkov situation. I think we talked about this already. So Jailton Almeida was supposed to fight Alexander Volkov at UFC 302 in Newark. That was 100% real. And as I've talked about on multiple programs, Almeida's team got a phone call on Wednesday, sometime on Wednesday, and they were told, "Hey, man, try to boost up Saudi Arabia. So you're not fighting. He's not fighting Volkov anymore. He's gonna fight somebody else. Um, so stay available, and we'll tell you who you're gonna fight. But you're not fighting Volkov anymore. We're moving him to Saudi." And they were just like, "What can they do?" They're just like, "Okay, we'll see who's next." I don't know how much more I could say about this. Like, I've heard some names being thrown out, but I'll just kind of leave it at that. There could be like a curveball to this whole thing that people may not be ready for, or people might just be like, "What the frig?" But stay tuned. That's basically the story. Almeida was supposed to fight Volkov. Almeida's team gets a call Wednesday before Dana makes the announcement. And they said, "Hey, you're fighting somebody else. You're still going to fight June 1st, but you're not fighting Volkov anymore." That's it.
Did Almeida, did they sign the contract, or was it verbally agreed on both sides?
I mean, I don't really know. It was enough for us. It was enough for us to report that the fight.
Oh, no. We everyone reported it correctly. The UFC,
even if they did sign contracts, it doesn't matter because they're not employees. They could just be like,
yeah, what are you going to do?
Thank you for signing the contract, but you could still fight on this date because you signed said contract, but you're just not going to fight the guy you signed to fight.
Yeah.
So,
which fight do you like better? Which fight do you like? Do you like Pavlovich Volkov better? I love style clashes. I like Almeida Pavlovich a lot better than Volkov Pavlovich. Yeah.
Well, Almeida was supposed to fight Volkov.
Either way. Sorry. Either way, I like the style clash. I don't like striker versus striker. This is MMA. You know, I want to see style clashes. But
it's interesting because Volkov's a pretty good wrestler and a pretty good grappler too. So we will get like a bit of a styles clash. Plus, like Volkov is so tall and rangy, so I am kind of intrigued to see how Pavlovich handles that.
They're elite heavyweights, so it's always going to be interesting. I just like I want to see Almeida. I want to see Almeida versus Volkov. I like that fight, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
It's a good fight, but it's kind of weird.
See it someday. Who knows? I have a feeling those two guys.
Just a weird situation.
Run into each other.
Lots of super chats.
That's really. I love it. Giovanni, did I hear you guys mention on the other show Erin had a bad weight cut? No, we didn't mention Erin. Manon looked pretty rough on the scale. She looked pretty run down. She made it. She was the first one up there. But
how do they look in the actual face off? You know, which comes like in a little bit later. I didn't see
the
footage.
Manon looked like a giant. She looks like a weight class above Erin.
Yeah.
Only because she's so much taller. Erin's more like stout.
Yeah, stout.
Manon's tall and pretty jacked up. So, but it's pretty much like it's the same as Erin Blanchfield when she went face to face with Tyler Santos. Like Tyler Santos is a big 25er. She's tall, muscular, and Erin's not really that tall. So it looks pretty similar.
Yeah, I take very little weight as long as they weigh him and they pass their medicals. I don't. When you see them for those 20 seconds when they weigh in, if they look bad, it's whatever. Everyone looks bad. Everyone's just faking it. That's all. Yeah. But if they look good, if Manon looked good in the actual face-off, I wouldn't worry. I think you'll be fine. Thank you much, Mr. Perez. Super chat.
Thank you, The Last Stand. Which fight on this card could be the most violent? The most violent, eh? Man, there's a few. I kind of think it's Cheaty and Reese McKee. I found there's like any fight on this card that isn't going to the judges, my bet would be that one. But there are a few on here.
Yeah. I mean,
Bruno Silva, Chris Weidman could get real bad.
I was gonna say, if Bruno Silva wins, it might be a lot of really uncomfortable violence for fans to watch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against Bruno Silva. No, we're just Chris Weidman's. You know, we've known him so long, so if we, it's always as a fan, especially if you've been in this for years, decades. It's hard to see those greats in the sport, become the nail over and over again. So, but it's part of being a fight fan. All right. Thank you much. Do. Super chat here from Dean Bailey.
Who does McGregor fight after he beats Chandler? Wow.
At
Whoever he
185.
wants.
At 185.
Whoever he wants. Whoever he
Chandler,
asks for.
Does Conor get a title shot at any weight class he chooses if he beats Chandler?
If he wants one, yeah. If I'm him, I'm calling. I ain't going near Islam Makhachev if I'm Conor.
What I mean,
maybe go after Leon.
Why not? Why not for Chandler? I mean, why not? Why not go after Makhachev?
Because we saw the fight already, and it's gonna be the same.
Well, so you don't want to see it, but you don't think someone like Conor will want that fight?
I mean, sure, but I don't know. Is the UFC gonna go through? I mean, well, they probably will. Are they gonna go through that whole scene again?
Does UFC like making lots of money? Or is that what you're asking?
I mean, they're gonna make lots of money no matter what. So,
Okay. Which if Conor beats Chandler, say Conor beats Chandler. Am I saying this right? Yeah, Conor beats Chandler in 3 months or whatever. What's of the champions right now? Which makes the most money for the UFC? If Conor
of champions,
yeah,
or just of anybody that could feasibly happen.
Champions.
Oh man, I mean, it's probably Islam. Gaethje would be fun. I know it's still a title.
You're right. Oh my god! Imagine if Holloway wins. And then you have Conor.
That's good.
Holloway.
Conor Nate. We could do the trilogy, although I don't think they're going to do the trilogy in the UFC unless Conor signs like a new deal.
If Holloway wins, sorry. If Holloway, I didn't even think about that. If Holloway wins, Conor versus Max for the BMF belt. That's pretty cool.
I'm fine with that. That's fun as shit.
Yeah.
Conor Gaethje's fun too.
I mean, it's obviously they're all fun. Conor Gaethje's kind of fight I think we've always wanted to see, but I just realized right now that it's a strong possibility. We could get Conor or Max if a couple of things go right. So, that'd be fun.
I don't love Islam because that fight's not competitive at all. But at least Gaethje and Holloway, they're both both those fights are competitive, even if it's just for a round. Those fights are competitive.
See, I didn't think the Khabib-Conor fight was going to be competitive, even going into it, but I still wanted to see it, and I still kind of want to see Islam-Conor too, if Conor deserves it. I don't want to see Conor get that because he doesn't deserve it, but deserved isn't a real word in the sport.
I mean, Dustin Poirier is about to get a freaking title shot again. I mean, I love it, by the way.
I think rightfully so, yeah. I think so. I mean, well, because Gaethje's doing his thing. Gaethje's busy. Gaethje took a fight,
Yeah, but Poirier just got knocked out brutally. And then went back and fought like the number 12 dude and got a win, which is a great win.
He was an underdog, and he was an underdog going to that fight.
I know. Look, I made money on Dustin Poirier. I bet on Dustin Poirier. I was very happy about that.
And that's always the problem, fighting behind you, the giant prospect, because it looks like a great win, but now when you want to kind of spin it a bit, it's like, oh, that was who was that guy? He's like, dude, he was the favorite. You were the underdog coming into the fight. So I don't know.
Everybody wants to see Poirier fight for the belt right now. It was smart. Everything Dustin Poirier did was brilliant. Everything from the holdout that lasted a day and he got more money and everything he wanted.
Oh, we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about that enough.
I mean, Dustin Poirier A++. Give him I'm happy he's getting a title. Mm-hmm. Like. Availability is your best friend right now. Availability is your best friend.
He uses availability and he uses his name value perfectly. I can't believe he got more money at that. We got to remember at the end of the year that the prize. We always talk about kind of prize. No, there's fighter of the year and there's prize fighter of the year. Dustin Poirier may be prize fighter of the year in that sense. So
he's probably the front runner for fighter of the year right now.
Oh, also, even fighter of the year. Yeah, we still got a long way to go, but yeah. Thank you. More super chats coming in.
Let's go. Buckley by KO or Weidman by sub, which is more likely? Also regarding the Pavlich Volkov situation, proof Dana doesn't need oil to be a. Oh yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna talk more about that a little bit. Hashtag St. Louis, but Buckley by KO or Weidman by sub, which is more likely?
Weidman by. I'm going Weidman by sub. Being
Me
Bruno
too.
Silva, isn't on the best streak right now. Bruno Silva might have been a bit, I would say overhyped. He came in hot and then he's cooled off, and this might be this is great matchmaking, I think, for Weidman. And I think if this is 80% of the Weidman we had at his best, 75%, he should win this. But if this is the guy who fought Tavares, yeah, it could be a tough night. But I am picking, if Weidman does win, I am picking submission though.
Bruno Silva has 10 losses in his professional career, 7 of them by way of submission. So keep that in mind.
Good matchmaking if the UFC is still pushing Weidman.
This is as good as it gets for Weidman right now. This is as good as it gets.
Co-main, yeah, not a co-main event, but up high on the card. All right, thank you much. Man, super chats. Boom, boom, boom.
I love it. Dean, why is Tommy so mad about not fighting Jones? It's a win-win whether John wins or retires. Tommy gets a chance or becomes the champ either way. Yeah, he needs to let this go. See, this is what I've been saying for a while. Tommy needs to act like John Jones doesn't exist. He needs to act like John's title doesn't exist, that he is the champion of the world. He just goes out and defends that belt over and over again, and he keeps telling everybody who will listen, I'm the champion. I'm not the interim champion. And just anytime someone asks you about John, sell the shit out of him. And that's what will get John going, is if you just act like he doesn't exist. If you keep poking the bear, he's just going to laugh at you. That's it. Like, that's all he's going to do. He's not going to give you the attention you want. But if you ignore him and people start talking about you instead of him, and you act like he isn't a thing at all, that's how you get John. You ignore him and act like you're the guy. So he should just be fighting everybody. Leave this alone. Let John come to him. And worst case scenario, John doesn't come to him and he becomes the champion anyways. So it's a win-win for Tommy to just leave this alone.
Is Tommy above? Is Tommy higher in our rankings than John is in our ranking? Excuse me.
Great question. Let me see. I bet they're super duper close. I would guess Tommy's number 1.
I definitely have Tom above, but I don't know if the whole staff as a whole does.
Let me see. Aspinall is number 1 by 5 points.
That's enough.
He has 5 first place votes. John is 3. 117 to 112.
Tommy, just keep retweeting us, keep sharing us on Threads, keep sharing us on Instagram of that graphic that has the number 1 heavyweight in the world, and do it like every week. Just keep posting it every week. Just throw it out there.
Yeah. And if John retires, you could say you sent him into retirement. He was scared. You could use that whole narrative then. Just leave it alone, man. Leave it alone. You're the guy. You're the number 1 heavyweight. You're the champion. You're the real champ. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That's how you handle this. That's how you get John to even feign interest in you, is you act like he doesn't exist.
Thank you much, Mr. Park. Our good friend, Achilles Jr.
Thank you, Achilles. I'm always afraid that he's going to attack my takes or say I'm like a 3 out of 10. Any thoughts on the curtain jerker? You guys are awesome. Thank you. Let's see.
I don't know who this guy is. Angel Pacheco.
First of all, how dare you?
He's coming off a loss on contenders. What you get?
Nah, he's a Minnesota guy, but he trains with Brock Larson. Brock Larson's his coach. He came off the Contender Series. Great fight on the Contender Series. He's one of the guys that I'm pretty sure he got. I don't know if he got signed or
he got signed off a loss, or is this a late notice fight? No, it's not even a late notice. He was signed off a loss. Wow.
Yeah, he got signed off of a loss. He got signed off the loss. Unanimous decision loss. He got a contract.
Wow. All right,
that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contract night. And I think losing fighters. Did 2 losing fighters get contracts that?
What is the point of Contender Series? I do not.
Oh, I mean, no, okay. You know what the point of the Contender Series is.
Sorry. I know what the point is. Yeah, I got it. But
yeah, so that episode, 2 losing fighters got contracts.
All right.
No, I like it. Angel's down to clown though. He lost to Danny Silva, and Danny Silva just went out and beat did he beat? Josh Kulabau? Is that who he beat? He missed weight, but he won. Yeah, he went on to beat Josh Kulbau, who's not an easy out. So that probably puts Danny Silva as like a top 30 featherweight. And Angel Pacheco like went hammer and tongs with him. So yeah, I think it's a fun fight.
When was it?
Loughran is
God,
kind of interesting right now because he was super over in Paris in like a good way where everybody booed the shit out of him. But like he was the most talked about dude heading into that Paris card. When he fought William Gomi, I think, and then Gomi beat him. But like he played the villain so well, and then he lost. So
yeah,
it seems like the betting faithful thinks Loughran's going to win this fight, but
yeah,
Checo's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. I just maybe people in the comments. I assumed this was a late notice replacement. I assumed it was
Mm-mm.
a late notice, but it's not. So that kind of
It's
shocked me. So
great.
I'm kind of interested to know how many people of the UFC for the UFC debuts have come off a loss, because it's got to be just a small handful. And I'm just surprised Angel Pacheco is one of those. I mean, I thought maybe a few stars, like maybe like big, I don't know, bigger free agents, but it's just kind of surprising. I can't think of how many. Can you name offhand how many people have they made their debuts off losses?
Like unless it was like a Fight Island thing where they're just like cornering a fighter that's fighting on the card and they
Yeah,
slide
yeah,
in short notice,
yeah.
something like
Not short
that.
notice. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few short
I'm
notice
pretty
ones, but
sure I'm pretty sure Carlos Candelario, who's no longer on the roster. I think he is either his second or third time on the Contender Series. He lost like kind of a controversial decision, and Dana gave him a contract, and then he made his debut. I think he fought. Did he fight Tetsuro Taira in his debut? Something like that.
okay. So, but point being,
It's something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's very hard to, very rare. So, all right, good on you, Angel Pacheco. Good on you. Congrats. All right, thank you much, Akitas Jr. Hope we answered that for you. And yeah, we are awesome.
It'll be a fun fight. It'll be a fun fight.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a typo, but he just, I guess, maybe just wants us to say his name. I'm not sure.
Thank you, Jameson.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
Does that get you? Does that get you an iced coffee, or is that half an iced coffee?
It's like 74% of an iced coffee these days.
Okay.
Inflation. You know?
I appreciate it. I appreciate Jameson.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Get you an iced coffee. I love how that's a thing.
I like you did the math too. It's like you had
started-
you had a 74%. You didn't even go almost 74.6%. Yeah.
This all started because someone called on Heck of a Morning and said, "Don't do super chats. I've seen your house in a video you've done. You're rich." I was like, "What are you talking about? Where's this wealth that you speak of? Please tell me. I would love that to know."
You're in a shed right
Michael.
now. Look at you.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Dan Hooker called up Beneil Dariush on Twitter. I think Hooker versus BSD is the fight to make in Perth. Do you agree? I don't hate that fight at all. That's kind of where I kind of thought Dan Hooker was going to get the BSD fight.
Originally. Before the Poirier fight.
Before Poirier ended up getting it. But he was also dinged up and stuff. So, yeah, I don't mind that one. It's either Dan Hooker, BSD in Perth, or the fight I have been saying all along, BSD versus Rafael Fiziev, main card opener, Madison Square Garden, November 2024. But Hooker BSD is fine. It's a good one. Dom, is Connor Aldo 2 ever on the cards again post 301? No, the fight's never going to happen again. Why would Connor take that fight? Connor will never take that fight.
What if it's at 50? I'm assuming at 55, not at 45. I'm assuming it will be Aldo going up 2 weight classes now.
Up, yeah.
Up now.
But even then, like, Connor gains nothing from that because he already beat him in 13 seconds and like the most memorable highlight maybe in the history of the company to become a champion. Like, I don't think he could do it any better, and I don't think he gains anything from fighting Jose Aldo now. You know what I mean? You could have done it like 2 years ago, and it would have been kind of interesting, but I just don't see it ever happening because I think Aldo's just going to fight Jonathan Martinez and beat feet.
And Aldo's really never made really a case for, like, it's not like media wise, he doesn't really wish for a Conor rematch. I mean, maybe
No.
initially after the loss, but
Yeah.
it's not like
Dude, he dropped a freaking bantamweight. That's like the opposite of wanting to fight Conor McGregor. He like
well,
completely
he's not chasing him, but I mean, but he's not going.
Yeah.
I'll go up. To, like Chandler, like I'll go up to a heavyweight to fight Conor. Is I don't recall all of Otto's interviews, and maybe he said in the past, oh, wherever if Conor wants me to fight, I'll fight him at whatever weight. But I don't think he's ever said that.
I'm sure all those things is like, I'm sure all those like I ain't chasing him, but if the UFC is like, hey, you want to fight Conor McGregor, he's not going to say no.
Yeah, that's all I mean. That's all I mean. I wouldn't. You're right. Conor does not do rematches if he wins. He just does not do it. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think he'd fight Holloway again. I definitely think he'd fight Holloway again.
Yeah, you're right. Holloway does for some reason makes.
And he beat Dustin Poirier, and he rematched Dustin Poirier. He finished Dustin in their first fight.
You're right.
45, and Dustin got over, and
there's a whole new
thing. They kind of made that fight themselves.
You're right. I stand corrected. I forgot. You're right. All right.
The Aldo one is like a whole different way of like I can't do any better than this.
Yeah, because he got Otto at his prime. Like the Holloway, Poirier were clearly there weren't prime versions of those fighters yet.
Yeah.
So the Aldo one, he did get him at the prime, and he beat him at his prime. So yeah, it is different.
World tour from that fight, like that was huge. That was a massive fight.
Yes, sir. The super chat.
What do you know about Bisinger signing with the UFC? Really?
Who's that?
I know nothing. I know nothing. Isn't that's the dude who just fought Cedric Doumbé, was it not? Yeah, it was. He signed to the UFC? Who's saying that? Who's saying that? I know nothing about it. If that's the case, I know nothing about it. I don't hate it.
It'd be weird. He's coming off a big victory. A TKO victory over a Glory champion.
Yeah. Dude, it would be so funny if the UFC just snatched him away before PFL could do the rematch. It'd be incredibly funny. Oh, I would love it.
But I just want to see.
It'd be a tremendous sighting.
No, I mean he was he's a really good prospect. And that was 22. That was a very dangerous fight and a very tough fight stylistically. Everything for Doumbé to take, and I credit Doumbé for taking that fight. I know we kind of go, I can't believe PFL made that fight, but hey, whatever. He wants tough fights. But I just want to hear, like, Bisinger's walking out, Joe Rogan's like, this guy defeated, TKO'd a Glory champion.
Defeated an absolute murderer. Cedric.
He made Cedric Doumbé quit. He made him quit. Cedric Doumbé, I can't handle this. Timeout. I can't handle this guy.
Cedric Doumbé got the first fear splinter in MMA history. He's so scared he got a splinter in his foot from his fear. Oh my God, that's great. Just for that reason, I hope this is true.
No, I haven't heard anything about that. That is funny though. All right, a couple more super chats because the fights looks like they're about to start.
Last pay-per-view, we had 2 special walkouts. Do you see any at 300? What's your thoughts on them? Stop using the Undertaker if they don't want to do justice.
So what's the question?
We'll get one.
Oh,
will we get any special walkouts? I'll say no. Like special? I'll say no.
Nah, UFC that would require fun, and the UFC hates fun. So I'm sorry. I would love cool stuff. I just hope the UFC doesn't do the urine colored canvas again for UFC.
Oh, damn, dude! They're already doing. Like the first fight's already like 2 minutes in. They ain't wasting any time.
Yeah, there's like 30 fights on this card, and it's already like 9.
We can keep going.
Yeah, we can go.
Pacheco Locker and getting after it. Please tell me somebody has asked about St. Louis. Do we not get it? Do we have a super chat about that yet?
Let me get.
All right, let's go.
I'm waiting. Sabi's. I think Undertaker's done. We're good to Undertaker. All right, yeah, I think we answered everything. All right, got one more super chat from Tobias.
Tobias, can't shake that feeling that Fiorot gets the early KO upset. Last time I had this feeling was with Sean and Izzy. It almost happened in round 1. Could happen. We'll see if you're right. Cool. We'll see if you're right.
Real quick, because someone's asking. I can answer this real quick. When are you
When are you
fighting next
fighting?
case? I am actually looking for a fight, and again, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get my hopes up, but hope maybe fighting in May. Maybe fighting in May out of state, but we'll see. We'll see. So
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
got to cut down on weight. I'm a little under 175 right now. I want to fight at lightweight, so it's 20 pounds to drop. Oh boy, so
All right.
yeah. So we're seeing. I am still training hard for a fight. But thank you for asking.
The whole family just walked down all at the same time, staring at me, from the wife to the child to the dog. All three of them.
Are they wearing like mink coats and holding money bags?
They had the Undertaker music going. They saw the question. No. Thoughts on the fan backlash to Peyton Talbot's? I have no idea what this is.
I don't know what that means. What was this, a Instagram post or something, or is this in this
Maybe
fight?
I don't know.
Sorry, I
I
can't
didn't
answer
see
that.
Peyton Talbot pole dancing.
Hold on one moment. We are done for our super chats for now, but let me see what else we got going. Oh, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, bring it.
The floor is yours, Mr. Heck.
No, first of all, okay. The amount of people who have been asking for the last like several weeks on Heck of a Morning and just like in the comments of the Heck of a Morning post, do you know anything about the main event for UFC St. Louis? Do you have any news about UFC St. Louis? And I'm just like, no, I've heard absolutely nothing. And then this morning, not even this morning, maybe 3 hours ago, we get the main event for UFC St. Louis. This is not the Apex. This is not the world's most famous Apex. We're talking on the road before tickets have even gone on sale. We have posted the main event. It is Derek Lewis, not versus Jairzinho Rosenstrike, not versus Tai Tuivasa in a rematch. None of these things. We're getting Rodrigo Nascimento in a main event outside of the world's most famous Apex. I could not believe when I saw this. First of all, why are we not doing Derek Lewis versus Jairzinho Rosenstrike? And for the one person who has actually clapped back at me for even saying something, Derek Lewis doesn't have to fight in St. Louis, guys. Derek Lewis could fight in the summer. It doesn't matter. Like, we should save Derek Lewis for fun fights. You want to throw him in there with Rodrigo Nascimento, who has 3 straight wins, all forgettable decisions, 2 splitties, and a decision went over Dontel Mays. I don't remember a moment of either of those fights. And I'm not saying like Rodrigo Nascimento is like a bad fighter, but a main event fighter, like you're going to charge people $500, maybe more, to watch Rodrigo Nascimento headline a freaking fight night card. What are we doing here? So here's my message to all of you. St. Louis, me being a New Englander, me being a Boston guy, I know we haven't gotten along. I know I've said some things about you, and you said some things about us. You guys cried like a bunch of babies when the Red Sox and the Patriots whooped that ass in all those championship matches and all those championship series, all of that. But here's my message to you, St. Louis. You have the chance to do something great here. You have the chance to do something that could invoke change, that can send a message. Because you know what this announcement and this main event is saying to you? It is saying to you, we don't give a shit. And we know you're going to buy tickets anyways. We know you're going to buy tickets because we haven't had an event in your city in a while. And we could give you a plate full of piss and shit, and you'll still pay $250 or more to go to this event. So you have the opportunity to do something great and not buy a ticket to this, okay? You can just say, no, this isn't good enough. You guys are $1 billion company a year in profit. We could do all these things. We make all this money. This is an Apex main event. If there ever was one, you should save your money and you should watch it on your couch. Get some pizza, have some friends over, maybe play a game of poker. Save your money. This is your opportunity to invoke some kind of change because the UFC is expecting you to buy tickets. They're expecting this building to sell out because they expect you to spend money on any friggin' fight that they put on your lap right now. And I'm not saying this to disrespect the fighters. I'm saying this because you deserve better than this. You deserve better. So here's your chance to send a message. If you're a local media outlet out in St. Louis, here's your chance to send a message too. Don't go cover it. Stay away from it. Demand better, because you guys already spend a shitload of money being a UFC fan anyways. You got to pay $5, $6, $10 a month just to get ESPN Plus. Then you spend $80 at least once a month on a pay-per-view. And now they're asking you to spend all this money on a main event that involves Rodrigo Nascimento, who is clearly not ready for a main event, especially in St. freaking Louis. Here's your chance. Please do the cool thing. Don't buy a ticket. Stay home, watch the fight from the comfort of your home, because the UFC is still going to make money anyways, whether you buy tickets or not. Do the cool thing. Stay away from this one. Demand more from the UFC. That is my message. This is trash. This is trash. Come on. This is an Apex main event. This is barely an Apex main event. I literally laughed when I saw this. I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be real. I'm like, oh, this is just a regular fight on this card. Still a weird one. And then I saw the freaking main event. Hashtag main event. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? What are you
Five rounds.
doing?
Five rounds.
We're probably going to get it. We're probably going to get it. And this Derek just cracks him in the first round. No. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, St. Louis. Unacceptable. You deserve more. You're better at putting freaking Sean Woodson in the main event. At least he's from the area. That fight's better. His fight's better. Do that. People would pay tickets. St. Louis's own getting a main event. Instead, you're bringing Houston's own up and Brazil's own in to fight him. Who's just going to try to tackle him and sit on top of him for 25 minutes? Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. And they know it. They know it's bad. Who the F, when they were in the war room looking at St. Louis, which matchmaker, which UFC official stood up and said, oh, I got one. Get on the phone. Call up these two guys, because this is a dream. This is the matchup we have to make. How about Derek Lewis? And everyone's like, okay.
Who?
Against Rodrigo Nascimento.
Who? Please,
this
media.
This has to be a Dana idea. This has to be a Dana idea.
The media in Atlantic City, if Dana shows up for this, please ask him, Dana, tell us about Nascimento. What is about him that? Tell us everything you know about him. Pitch
this idea. How are they still employed? This is the pitch. This has to be a Dana idea. This has to be a Dana idea. This is like the Attitude Era in WWF. And I know we don't like to mention Vince McMahon's name because of all the horrible shit that is going on right now. But it's like there's Vince just doing the Billy Strut down the aisle, and there's Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe following him. Yes, Mr. McMahon. Like, this has to be what this is right now. Like, Dana's like, hey, let's just throw Rodrigo Nascimento in a main event, and I guarantee you these idiots in St. Louis are going to buy tickets anyways because they don't give a shit. And they're just like, yeah, boss, that's a great idea. How is Mick Maynard going to defend this one on Twitter? That's what I want to know. I'm very excited to see how he tries to defend this one, because he tries to defend literally everything else. I want to see how he defends this. And kudos to him if he tries. Like, I'll have so much respect if he tries.
I want to see this. I want to see
so much respect. This is garbage. This is terrible. Don't go, St. Louis. I'm telling you, do not buy tickets. If you're a family member or a friend of a fighter fighting on the card, then yes, go support the fighter. Use their codes, all that stuff. Like, make sure they get a little piece of the pie, all that stuff. Like, great. But other than that, like, if you're a fan and you're just like, wow, the UFC's coming to town, you tell them to stick that main event and this whole fucking thing up there where the sun don't shine, people. This is trash. This is awful. Sorry.
If Dana's ever asked about this, do you think he'll pull the "you can't judge a fight till it happens"? Do you think he'll pull that one?
No.
This one?
No. This is exactly what he's going to say. This is exactly what he's going to say. Ask me. I'm Dana White.
Dana, we just got news. The main event in St. Louis. What was the thinking? Why did you book this fight for St. Louis, Missouri?
Why would we book this fight for St. Louis, Missouri? What would you have booked?
Derek Lewis, we know he's a good fighter, but not submit. I'm not sure his opponent. Who like what? Why did you book him? More importantly, Nascimento. Like what is it about? Like why did you think that the fans in St. Louis wanted to see Nascimento in a main event? What sold you on it, Dana?
Well, look, everybody loves Derek Lewis. Guy's a fucking beast. He's fun. He's funny as shit. He's great. Needs a challenge. Okay, he just lost to Jailton Almeida, a Brazilian who wrestled him and took him and put him on his back. And Derek's just the kind of guy that when you call him and you say, Derek, we got to fight for you, this guy, you don't even ask, he'd never even ask who the fucking name is. He just says, yes, I'm in. Just tell me who to fight. And I fucking love those guys. He's fighting this guy that nobody knows about, this killer who's won 3 fights in a row. Call Derek up. It's a low risk, it's a low reward, high risk fight for Derek Lewis, but he doesn't give a shit. The guy's a fighter. You either want to fight or you don't. Derek Lewis wants to fight. Let's see if this kid Nascimento can step up and do it.
Well,
that's all he's gonna say.
A lot of fans have wanted Derek Lewis versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck. Was that on the table?
What did he say? What did he ask? Wait, against who? Who was asking for that?
Well,
is that the fight? Wait, is that what you want to see? Is that?
I'm not saying I want to see, but people are saying. I'm just saying people. Fans. Online
anybody
chatter.
In this room? Anybody in this room? Have you said that? Listen, we don't talk about fights. Okay, it's not Tuesday. Fight is what it is. This is what we're doing, and it's gonna be a great fight. Tickets go on sale April 4th, and yeah, excited to get back to St. Louis. Is that all for me? Is that all you got? All right, good night, everybody.
UFC Africa, forget it. We've done this too many times.
Come on, man, dude. This is you deserve better, St. Louis. That's all I'm saying. There was a time if this happened like 10 years ago, I would laugh. I'd be laughing at this. This would be great. I'd be like, yeah, St. Louis, you deserve this because you're a bunch of whiny baby sports fans because the Red Sox and the Patriots kicked your ass and you were like, oh, they cheated and all this bullshit. But now I actually feel for you. I'm defending you right now. But you're not going to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong because you're just going to sit there and take it. You're just going to sit there and get punched in the mouth by this. And you're going to spend all your money on this card, money to park and for food and drink and all that stuff. You're going to spend it, and you're going to come out of there and be like, man, could have just held on to this money and waited for like a better card to come along or, booked a trip to Vegas and gone to like a cool fight card. But you're going to spend the money. You're going to do it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Angel Pacheco, Kyle, and I feel for you, St. Louis. This is don't be guinea pigs. Like, don't be the guinea pigs. This is exactly what they're trying to test right now. This is the test. Okay? This is the test. Should we leave the Apex? Because if they do, and you buy tickets for this, if they're going to a market they haven't been to in a while and they're doing fight night cards, this is what we're going to get. So just prepare yourself. Every other market they haven't been to in a while that isn't paying a site fee, that is going to get a fight night card, this is the level of main event you are going to get if people buy tickets for this card. So it's up to you. You could be heroes here. You could be the heroes. Here you go.
Man, I'm just thinking
legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. You could be legends, St. Louis. You could be legends. Be a legend. Be a legend.
St. Louis fans, go in Tapology. Look at the card Strikeforce brought to St. Louis. There were some amazing fights that Strikeforce brought. And look what UFC is bringing to you guys. And you're gonna pay about 4 or 5 times more for tickets. Enjoy.
They haven't put tickets on sale yet, guys. They haven't done it. Okay, they haven't done it. Now, if the UFC was smart, they would have put tickets on sale before they announced this. Because you would have bought them.
You're right.
You would have already bought them.
You're right.
But now they're giving you an out here. I highly recommend you take it. And just demand better. We can still get this fight, but demand a better main event, and then you'll buy tickets.
This is a fine fight. It's a fine fight. It's a fight. Now, Derek Lewis coming off a loss, right? It's a fight. It's a fight. It's not a main event.
It's a fight. Alonzo Menafield, Carlos Ulberg, fine.
It's fine.
Jared Gooden, Kevin Doucette, Tabitha Ricci, Tisha Torres, Michael
Oh,
Johnson, Matt Cavola. Sean Woods is fighting Alex Caceres. That is a better main event than this. That would be a better main event than this. Jay Cadley, Charles Johnson, good fight. Terrence McKinney, Esteban Ribovic, Chase Hooper versus Slava Claus. Like, it's not a bad card. WCA Rebellis to Spain is on this card. Like, it's not awful, but you deserve a better main event than this. You deserve a better one. You deserve more than Rodrigo Nascimento, who's not ready for a main event. He's just not ready for this. He's not. It's just bad. Not one good thing has been said about this. Not one.
I feel bad. Like, if you put a picture of Rodrigo Nascimento, and I couldn't 100% be sure that was him. I just couldn't.
Dude, switch it. No. I figured it out. Switch it. Just do the switch. This is what you should demand, St. Louis. This is what you friggin' demand. You say, hey, I do not accept Rodrigo Nascimento as a main event. I do not accept this. Someday he might be there. You do Derek Lewis versus Rebellis to Spain would be a way better main event. And I know Rebellis only had one fight in the UFC, and you think I'm maybe being a little bit. That is so much better than this.
You actually made me mad now because that fight is available for us, and we're not going to get it.
WCA versus Nascimento, and do Derek Lewis versus Rebellis to Spain. What are we doing? That is so much better. St. Louis is going home happy because someone's getting iced. That's how you close the show. Either Derek Lewis gets back in the win column and cuts a fiery, awesome, hilarious promo, or Rebellis to Spain's like
we have a star
heavyweight in the world. It's like a win away from a title fight. Like, this is so much better. Do that.
Why'd you put that in my head?
Demand that, St. Louis. Demand that, please. Ugh. Colin Lochran just won the first fight, by the way, by unanimous decision.
Pacheco.
Good for him.
Good for you.
My perfect heart is dead.
Yeah. Are you good? Are you? I feel like if the show ever gets dull, we're kind of having a lull. It's like back in the day when you didn't know what to ask Dana White. You just go Dana White. You just say Bob Arum, and Dana White would just go crazy. So I feel like we're gonna do this with you, Mike. If we kind of run out of questions, I'm just gonna bring up this one. Luis Nascimento, tell me.
It's so obvious what this is too. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But St. Louis, you're not gonna be legends. You're just gonna let this slide. You're gonna buy all the tickets. It's gonna be a sellout. It's gonna be the biggest gate ever. They're gonna clip this off and they're gonna put it in a video and take it out of context because you bought all the tickets and you set the record for the Enterprise Center. You're gonna do it. Don't do it. Be a legend. Be a legend. I believe in you, St. Louis. I believe in you. Even though the Rams left you, I won't if you do this.
This is a Boston guy. Telling St. Louis fans, trying to help St. Louis fans.
I hated you for a long time, but now I'm taking you back here, okay? This is like CM Punk in the WWE. Yeah. This is me coming back to you, all right? I'm fighting for you. The voice of the voiceless. Don't be voiceless. Do the thing. Do the thing, St. Louis. Hit the music. Let's go watch some fights.
Hold on. 1 second.
Oh, you got more?
Yeah, we got to go. Hold on. A little bit more.
Oh, Ricky's going to need a gun to beat me? Jesus Christ, dude.
Gee, this escalated quickly, Achilles Jr.
I'm so glad Rick's not here right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll clip this. We'll send it to him. Well, thank you much. And one last thing. Last question before we go to our predictions. We can just think about that one.
So fake. Like that. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that has to be staged. That was talked about ahead of time because no one does that. No one does that. And I just don't know if anybody keeps that in, like purposely doing that. You know what I mean?
I didn't see the whole interview, but people said it was if you take like the 10 minutes before, because apparently they just had a conversation about Joe Rogan right before that or something. It was like toward the end of the interview. It's still a weird question to ask. Hey Dana, what's your dream? It's still a weird question to ask, but there was a little. it kind of made sense, because she just misspoke, but it is kind of funny. It's just funny. Yeah, but cut it
But
out.
like
It's not.
no
It's
one,
period.
yeah, but no one ironically laughed at it. They were just like,
No.
"Wow, what? That was awful."
Yeah.
They just like pointed and chuckled, and like that interview was done like 2 months ago,
Yeah, that's the
maybe
weird part
more.
too. Yeah.
Like it was the day he said it was the day that the Dustin Poirier thing happened, and he blasted. He tried to like get Guy for the Benoit Saint-Denis, and he put the Benoit Saint-Denis text message exchange on
Which
his Instagram stories during this Dustin Poirier thing, even though his own rostered fighter is the one that broke the news that he wasn't fighting Benoit Saint-Denis, which is still my favorite day covering the sport, maybe of all time. But yeah, that's when that would happen. That was like 2 months ago. It just you would think after 2 months, like if that wasn't planned, you just I don't know, edit that out. If it wasn't staged, like let's get the viral moment right off the bat on our first show because that was the first show she done.
Oh,
That's the
that
first
was?
episode of the
Oh,
show.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Good.
Howie Mandel thing all over again.
Yeah.
Don't announce Rodrigo Nascimento main events before people's pre-fight shows anymore. I'm on a roll today. Okay, I'm calming down. I feel like this is a therapy session here.
Yeah.
I think you guys. I feel better about myself. Do we have bonus predictions here?
All right, bonus predictions. Bonus predictions. Sorry, I'm lost in bonus predictions. I'm going fight of the night. I'm just gonna go Landwehr versus Emmers because it's Nate Landwehr. And performance of the night will go to the top two fights: Erin Blanchfield and Vicente Luque.
Fight of the night: Verna versus Loopy.
I like that.
I think we're going to war here.
I like it.
Performance. I'll go Chris Weidman.
Ooh.
And I will go Nursultan Rudzabov.
Oh, wow. I know
Yes.
very little about him. I know very little about that gentleman. So, well, I'll find out more tonight.
We will find out more tonight. All right, main card predictions. We kick things off. Welterweight division. Chidi and Jokawani back to 170, taking on Reese McKee. Who you got?
I believe Chidi coming off three straight losses. I will believe he will make a successful welterweight debut in the UFC, and he will get a first round knockout.
Samesies. First round KO against Reese McKee. Bill Algeo taking on Kyle Nelson. Let's pull up the betting odds real quick. By the way, Chidi minus 148. Reese McKee was plus 124. Bill Algeo minus 250. Come back on Kyle Nelson plus 205. Who we got here?
I'm going with my vibe, going from my gut. I'm going Mr. Nelson knockout late in round 3.
Damn. I'm going Bill Algeo via unanimous decision. Good fight. Competitive fight. Yeah, I'll go Algeo by decision. And what should be fun. The aforementioned Nursultan Rodzhabev minus 218. The comeback on Cedric Dumas plus 180. My pick is where the hell is it? There it is. Rodzhabev TKO round 1.
I'm also going Rodzhabev, but I'm going him with a dominant unanimous decision.
Featured bout, 185 pounds, former champion Chris Weidman, the pretty significant underdog here, plus 164. The favorite is Bruno Silva, minus 198. Does the All-American get it done? I think you know where I'm going. I might as well just knock it out. Chris Weidman, submission, round 2.
Bruno Silva decision. And a I don't want to say it, but lackluster fight.
All right. Let's go.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. It's one of those like, I don't like saying it out loud, but,
Yeah. Some movement in the co-main event. Vicente Luque jumped up as a little bit more of a favorite than he was yesterday. Minus 125, the comeback on Joaquin Buckley. Plus 105, Casey. Who gets it done?
And y'all must have forgot moment. Vicente Luque, first round knockout.
Damn. I got Luque as well, but decision. Good fight.
Like it.
It's over. I think it's pretty clear. Main event, Erin Blanchfield, the minus 180 favorite, the comeback on Manon Fiorot, plus 150. I already made my prediction on the preview show. Erin Blanchfield, hard-fought decision win. She gets it done.
Erin Blanchfield, round 2 submission.
I hope it's your card. Like the Weidman thing would be kind of cool, but the rest of your card I like. It means we're gonna just go boom, 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 boom. Lots of finishes. Hit the music.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down for a Weidman, a classic Weidman submission. I am down for that, but prove me wrong, Weidman. Prove me wrong.
Pacing's already great. We're already like halfway through the first round of the second fight.
14 fights tonight. Oh my God. 14 fights.
12 to go, baby. Still got 12 to go. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, early for the post-fight show. And then AK and I will have on to the next one. So enjoy, everybody. Hopefully you get a pizza pie or whatever your dinner of choice will be. Sit on the couch and enjoy the fights. I don't think you're going to have a bad time watching these fights. So thank you all very much.
There's a crowd. It's people. It's not in the Apex. This is fantastic.
Seeing a lot of empty seats right now, but GC and New York Rick are in the building. They ain't gonna miss a second of it. And neither should you. We'll see you later on.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Don't buy tickets.